Once upon a time, in a little village, there was a young man named Leo. Leo had big dreams. He wanted to do something great with his life. He had heard about people from the past who did amazing things. These people were warriors, thinkers, and monks who became famous because they worked really hard and never gave up. One day, Leo decided it was time for him to learn how to be great too. He knew about a wise Zen master who lived far away in a temple. Leo thought this Zen master could teach him the secrets of being successful. Feeling determined and hopeful, Leo started his journey to find the Zen master. His journey was not easy. He walked through different villages and overcame many difficulties. On his way, he met a farmer named Max. Max was different. He seemed really happy and successful, even though he didn't have much. Leo was curious about Max's happiness. He went up to Max and asked him how he could be successful and happy too. Max smiled at Leo and shared a secret. He said that being successful wasn't just about doing big things. It was also about being happy inside and living in the moment. Leo wanted to understand more. He asked, "How can I do great things if I don't work really hard for them?" Max explained that working hard is good, but it shouldn't take over your life. He told Leo about 3 enemies that stop people from being truly successful. These enemies can cloud your mind, preventing you from seeing the opportunities that lie before you. Leo was interested and wanted to know about these 3 enemies and how to deal with these enemies. Max decided to tell Leo about the enemies of success through stories to help him understand better. Max started with the story of Ethan. There was a talented archer named Ethan. Since he was a little boy, he had one big dream: to become the greatest archer in the land. Every morning, Ethan would practice shooting arrows, aiming at targets he set up in the forest. His arrows flew fast and true, hitting the center more often than not. Yet, despite his talent, Ethan was filled with doubt. Ethan worried a lot. He worried that he wasn't good enough and that he would never reach his dream. "What if I'm not truly talented?" he would ask himself. "What if I can never be the best?" This doubt made it hard for him to enjoy archery the way he used to. Sometimes it even made his hands shake and his shots miss their mark. One sunny afternoon, as Ethan was practicing near a clear stream, an old monk wandered by. The monk watched Ethan shoot his arrows, noticing how some shots were perfect, while others missed when Ethan hesitated. The monk could see the doubt in Ethan's eyes and decided to help. Walking up to Ethan, the monk said, "I see you're troubled, young archer. Doubt is a heavy burden to carry. It's like an arrow that never flies straight." Ethan was surprised. "How do you know what I'm feeling?" he asked. The monk smiled. "I've lived a long life and seen many young people like you, full of potential but held back by their own fears. Doubt is the first enemy you must defeat on your path to success." "But how can I defeat doubt?" Ethan asked, feeling a glimmer of hope. "Believe in yourself and the skills you've honed," the monk advised. "Every morning when you wake, tell yourself, 'I am a great archer.' Visualize your arrows hitting the target. Let go of the fear of missing and trust in your ability." Ethan took the monk's words to heart. Every day, alongside his physical practice, he practiced believing in himself. He would stand before his target, close his eyes, and imagine his arrow flying straight and true. With time, the doubt that clouded his mind began to clear. His hands steadied, his aim became more precise, and his shots never missed. Months passed, and word of Ethan's unmatched skill spread across the land. Other archers came to challenge him, but none could match his accuracy and calm. Ethan had become the greatest archer, just as he had always dreamed. And in his heart, he knew it was not just his skill with the bow that made him great, but his victory over doubt. Leo listened carefully to Max's story. He was eager to hear more, so Max told him about Sara, a painter with big dreams. Sara wanted her art to be famous all over the world. She worked on her painting skills for many years, but she was always in a hurry to become famous. Sara's impatience made her sad because she wasn't getting famous as fast as she wanted. Then she met an older artist who was very famous for his beautiful paintings. The older artist told Sara, True art needs time and patience. You can't rush it. Work on your skills and be patient. Your time will come. Sara listened to the older artist. She focused on making her art better instead of worrying about fame. After many years, she created a painting that everyone loved. Sara's patience had paid off, and her dream came true. Leo was amazed by the story of Sara and how patience helped her. He was now ready to hear about the third enemy, and that is attachment. Max then told Leo about Evan. Evan had a brilliant mind for planning and strategy. He was respected by many for his ability to outthink his opponents and win battles even before they began. Evan's dream was to become the most renowned strategist in all the lands, admired for his wisdom and unmatched tactical skills. However, Evan faced a challenge that he hadn't anticipated. His greatest strength had also become his greatest weakness. Evan was deeply attached to his plans and strategies. He believed that his way was the only way to victory. This attachment made him rigid and unwilling to consider alternatives, even when situations on the battlefield changed. One day, as Evan was studying maps and planning his next move, he received news that a wise general, known for leading his army to victory against impossible odds, was visiting the kingdom. Intrigued by the general's reputation, Evan decided to seek him out, hoping to learn the secret behind his success. Evan found the general in a tranquil garden, contemplating the nature around him. Mustering his courage, Evan approached and asked, "Great General, how have you achieved such remarkable victories? What is your secret?" The general looked at Evan with a gentle gaze and replied, "Young strategist, the secret to my success is not in rigid plans or strategies. It is in adaptability and the willingness to let go." Evan was puzzled. Let go? But how can I achieve victory without a solid plan? The general smiled and shared his wisdom. Plans are important, but no battle ever goes exactly as planned. The enemy is unpredictable, and circumstances change. My victories came when I learned to detach myself from my initial strategies and adapt to the unfolding situation on the battlefield. He continued, "You must be like water, Evan. Water adapts to the shape of the vessel it fills, and so must you adapt to the realities of each battle. Your attachment to your strategies blinds you to new opportunities and possibilities." Evan listened intently, the general's words resonating deep within him. He realized that his attachment had indeed made him blind to other paths to victory. Inspired by the general's insight, Evan began to approach his role with a new perspective. He remained diligent in his planning but stayed open to adapting his strategies as needed. In his next battle, Evan faced a formidable opponent. Remembering the general's advice, he observed the enemy's movements and adapted his strategy in real time. His army achieved a stunning victory, one that was celebrated throughout the kingdom. Leo learned a lot from Max's stories. He understood that doubt, impatience, and attachment could stop him from being happy and successful. Leo thanked Max and continued his journey, now with a new way of looking at his goals and dreams. As Leo ventured forward, he faced many more challenges, but this time, he approached them differently. Whenever doubt crept into his thoughts, he remembered Ethan's story and reminded himself to trust in his own abilities. When impatience threatened to overwhelm him, he thought of Sara's patience and dedication to her art, understanding that great achievements take time. And whenever he found himself too attached to a specific outcome or way of doing things, he recalled Evan's flexibility and openness to new strategies. Years passed, and Leo's journey took him to many places. He met more people, learned from their experiences, and shared the wisdom he had gained from Max. Eventually, Leo achieved remarkable success in his endeavors. He became known not just for his achievements, but also for his wisdom, kindness, and the peace that seemed to radiate from him. In the end, what really showed Leo was successful wasn't the prizes, money, or being famous. It was the big change inside him because he learned a lot about dealing with doubt, waiting patiently and not holding on too tightly to things. What he learned made him a better person, touching his heart and soul deeply. This story teaches us some important stuff. First, success is about the whole trip, not just getting to the end. It tells us to enjoy the journey we're on, trying to reach our dreams. Second, beating doubt is super important. Doubt can stop us from doing our best. The story tells us to believe in ourselves and push away those doubts. Third, being patient is really powerful. Being in a hurry can mess things up, make us miss chances, and make us upset. The story shows us that being patient, working hard over time, and not giving up is how we do amazing things. Fourth, not holding on too tightly to wanting things to go a certain way helps us a lot. The story says we should be okay with changes and new ideas. Fifth, listening to what others have learned is helpful. The main guy in the story, Leo, got advice from many people. This teaches us that listening to others who have been through similar things can give us good tips for our own lives. Sixth, the biggest win is changing for the better on the inside. The story tells us that real success is about growing, finding out more about ourselves, and getting wise by facing tough times with courage, patience, and being open to change. So the story really wants us to think differently about what it means to be successful. It's not just about what we can show off, but about being happy inside, growing as a person, and developing good qualities that make life better.